welcome to tonight's Big Brother 21 chat.
Today was a very long day. It's episode 24. And last time, Kat was evicted. And the slip and slide competition was in progress.
Oh my god, it's a Big Brother classic.
Yeah, but first, 18 hours before the eviction.
Let's watch Jess blow up her game. So we already know that she got that information from Nicole, that there was a group of 6 that she was not involved in again. So she took that around to other people.
Apparently, like, she doesn't know how to play Big Brother.
We already knew that. I mean, her HOH week was a bright spot, but other than that... Okay, so she's talking to Sis, and Jess is like, I know about the 6. And Sis is like, what?
There's no 6.
What?
Yeah. So she denied it. Then Jess said, and you know what? I don't know what's going on between you and Holly, but Holly said, Jackson said that you were flirting with him.
And she's like, what? I had Jack.
Yeah.
What they didn't show was another huge part of this, because Jess was dumping mad information about Holly and how people were talking about Sis being like a mean girl in the house, which she has been, and they didn't include the part where there was talk of Christy, Sis, and Jack all laughing at Cliff and making fun of him during that veto competition, the one with the prizes and the punishments. They were making fun of him supposedly for how he was running, but they didn't show that on the show, so they didn't address that here, and they're not going to address that here. But that was another huge thing, and Sis was like, I was not making fun of him, I'm not a mean girl, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't show that.
She's a mean, dumb girl. She's a dum-dum.
I'm surprised they didn't show Sis crying about how she's not a mean girl, because that was pretty dramatic. But I guess they haven't shown enough of the truth of that on the show, so it wouldn't really make sense to people who are only watching the show. But anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thanks for outing all that.
You're welcome.
Alright, so Sis and Christy are in the boat lounge and they're talking smack about Holly while Holly's listening right outside the door, and then comes busting in and says,
do I look like Willie Nelson? Because she had the 2 braids.
Why, you got a joint in your mouth?
Maybe.
Or a vape pen? Alright,
so, did you see Sis's face when Holly walked in?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was super freaking awkward.
So Jess and Christy and Sis are all denying the 6 alliance.
Well, first, like, Holly comes in and she's like, what's up, guys? And Sis is like, I'm not a happy camper with you right now. And Holly was like, what did I do? You know,
yeah.
Like, why are you being like this? What's going on? So then she said, I've heard that you're calling me a mean girl and saying I was flirting with Jackson and blah, 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 blah. And Sis is just like, or no, Holly is just like, where is this all coming from?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who was Sis talking to for like an hour and a half one-on-one? Oh yeah, it was Jess.
And then, Christy swears on her sister that the targets were Jackson and Holly, but never you, Jess. Never.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was without, yeah, that was without Holly in the room.
Right.
Because Jess, Christy, and Sis were all like, we're not talking to you. So they went to talk up in the have-not room.
Right.
And this conversation that Jackson overheard is going to be really important this week, because he's been bringing it up over and over and over again. This is going to become one of Jackson's Jacksonologies or whatever.
Right.
Because he will not stop talking about it. So yeah, he overheard them saying like, Jackson and Holly don't have anyone. They're all on their own. But you're not a target. Okay.
And now Sis and Christy deny the alliance to Holly again.
Yeah, they're saying it was never...
Swear on my sister.
Honestly, it's like a semantics thing, because they were planning on making an alliance, and then Tommy was like, no, not on my HOH, Satan, because he promised at the beginning of his week that he wasn't going to be making any new alliances.
Right.
So he was like, no, we're not doing that. But they basically agreed to a 1-week deal, and then they were gonna extend it past that when Tommy wasn't HOH. Yeah, so it's all semantics. They're planning on working together. So it was BS, but I thought it was hilarious when Christy was like, we've never all been in the same room at the same time.
They showed those receipts.
I swear on my sister.
I'm
taking the kids to my sisters.
Alright, well, let's get back to the HOH competition. I believe Nick had an early lead.
I guess?
An early, short-lived lead.
From what I saw, Jackson was in the lead like the whole time, but sure.
There were lots of falls. Some pretty hard falls.
Jess's fall looked freaking rough.
I'm really surprised that nobody's got like majorly hurt from this, like, you know,
like brain damage.
Yeah, like hit their head or something,
like
or
shook their head.
They really should be wearing helmets.
I feel like, yeah,
and possibly like knee pads or whatever.
I mean, like that's whatever, but you gotta freaking protect your brain.
I mean, look at what happened to Christmas that year. She freaking destroyed her foot, and she wasn't even in a competition.
It was just a little piggyback ride.
Riding around on Cowboy.
Oh, it's crazy.
Was that his name?
No. I don't know, right?
I don't know. Didn't they call him Cowboy too?
Did they? I know his name was Jason, but
Clowny?
How quickly we forget.
Nope, it's not that quick.
Alright, well anyway.
Alright, well, Jackson took off his pants.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, it was Christy, Mickey, and Holly close.
Honestly, at that point, Jackson had already had a pretty wide lead. They were trying to make it look a lot closer than it was, but he, maybe like halfway through, he was already like well ahead of everyone else.
I don't think it was fair that he took his pants off, because I mean,
you should have to keep the costume on, I feel like.
Costume on.
Yeah.
But he ended up winning, and I guess Holly was pretty close behind him.
She was the next person behind him, but it wasn't
close. Even that close?
Yeah.
Yeah. His little ball popped up, so he won.
Yeah. So now, there's a lot of really nervous people in that house, because pretty much everyone was supposed to be targeting Jackson this week.
Right.
And now, he's the HOH.
You know who I felt wasn't really that nervous?
Tommy?
No.
Okay.
Christy and Sis. It seems like they weren't really that nervous.
I think Christy was nervous.
She's like, oh, I hope I can avoid the block this week.
I mean, she was hopeful, but she was definitely nervous. And Sis was just like, I don't know.
I don't even know if she knows that she's playing a game.
I don't know.
I think she's just there for summer camp.
Yeah.
So Jackson's target is Christy. And possibly Sis.
He's been targeting Christy for a long time now.
Yeah, he really wants to get Christy out, but
if he can't,
he'll take Sis.
Yeah.
Or Nick. Maybe Nick.
Oh, I can't wait to see Nick go. Please!
Alright. Tommy he's doing a good job of distancing himself from Christy and Sis.
Yeah, he's saying, you know what, ladies?
He's good with Jackson.
I'm good with them. I've been wanting the 5 to get back together. He's really been pushing that. He will not let this thing go.
No.
So he's pretty pissed, actually, that Sis and Christy have been running their mouths. And
he doesn't want to be associated with them.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to let them mess up. Yeah, I'm not letting them mess up my relationship with Jackson and Holly. So, not doing it this week.
And even Cliff came clean. He went, that I think is a very smart thing to do. He went to Jackson and said, look, I made a deal. I had to, I had to save my ass. I had to stay in the house. This is what I had to do.
Yeah.
And you were the target.
I mean, Jackson was going to find out anyway, so.
Yeah, so you might as well tell him.
Yeah.
So, now is the time of the show when they had a little comic relief. Holly and Jackson are laying in bed not having sex for a change. And she's talking about how she loves all the stupid little things that Jackson says. He's a real Gary Busey.
He really is. Oh my god. He's going to start coming up with acronyms soon.
Yeah.
Fear. False evidence appearing real.
Exactly. So one of his favorites is, I'm playing chess, not checkers.
He said it so many times. He really has. Some other ones. This wasn't in this list, but I loved when, during the HOH competition, he said, rest is for the weak.
Did he say we can't do it for a few days, Holly, because my wiener's pretty irritated?
Heard him say that a few times yesterday. That's something that keeps coming up. First it was Holly being like, no, I have a rash. And then it was Jackson being like, no, my pee-pee it hurts. No! So, yeah, that is,
I had something to say there, but you know what? I'm not gonna say it.
Alright. Anyway, just keeping it
not
real.
Not today, Satan. Alright, so Sis also is pretty stupid. Because she overhears Christy and one of the others talking about, I
Holly.
think it was Nicole was there
Nicole
too.
was there, yeah. They were talking about how the days are getting shorter.
Because the sun isn't over the pool at the same time.
Whatever, yeah.
It's like a different time.
So Sis is like, oh, the days are getting shorter?
That means 10 o'clock comes sooner.
Ooh. Oh my god! So they're just like...
No.
It's not what that means. How do you go 22 years?
Didn't she graduate college?
Yeah.
Was it the college of duh?
It was the college of... I'm on a D1 sports team. No offense, but I've heard some stories about some Division I athletes. Just saying. Okay. When do they have time to do homework?
They don't.
Okay, so anyway.
They don't. Jackson and Christy. They're having a chat, and again, Christy denies the alliance to Jackson.
I swear on my sister.
You know what? She's still the target. He's not buying it.
Yeah, he's like, this is not gonna cut it. Sorry. I mean, he didn't tell her that, but we know.
Alright, so everybody from the Northeast knows the mysticism of the Garden State Parkway. Everybody lives on an exit.
Right.
So Staten Island is very close to Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right there. So Christy is spilling her guts about how she is only 3 exits away from Tommy.
Whoa!
And people are getting a little sus. They're like, hey, so
do you guys like know each other?
Do you like go shopping, you know, at the same places? And
do you like date each other's aunts or something?
What? Yeah.
Yeah.
You think people are thinking there's something going on here or no?
I feel like no one is seriously...
Those numbers don't mean anything because Cliff was really trying hard to understand it. Those numbers on the turnpike don't mean a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mean nothing.
Honestly, it doesn't
I mean, they
seem...
do, but they don't.
It doesn't seem like anyone is seriously wondering if they know each other, which just blows my mind.
I know.
It just blows my mind. They're so quick and ready to accept that Kat and Holly know each other, which is funny because, yes, they did know each other, but it wasn't like a close relationship. And then you have Christy and Tommy, who have known each other since they were children.
Is that for real?
It's not just, it's not just that she dated his aunt. They're supposedly childhood friends. And they reunited when she started dating his aunt.
How is that possible? Is she originally from, like, Staten Island?
She's from Staten Island, but she lives in Jersey now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then that's the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Sis tells all about the alliance to Jackson. She comes clean. And she said Nick started it. You know what? He didn't even, like, grill her. He was just like, so tell me what happened.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay.
This bird starts singing.
Yeah, I was just sitting there in the hammock, whatever, and Nick came over and said, hey, you want to start this alliance?
Right, well, she was saying, oh, it wasn't like we were all coming after you. We were just going to throw it so that Cliff and Nicole could come after you. But no,
yeah, right?
We created this so that we would be safe next week, blah, 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 and we didn't include you. Doesn't she realize... I don't understand these people saying like, oh, I was planning on throwing the competition. That means you were okay with other people taking out people who are supposed to be your allies.
Right.
That's not a good look. That doesn't mean no.
Obviously, she's not playing the game. All right, so Sis is in a chicken costume. Did you notice?
I did notice, yeah.
They made her sit in a chicken coop and only talk chicken. And
honestly, it wasn't much different than what we usually hear from her.
Apparently,
I guess less
she
curse
was
words. I don't know.
pretty good at talking chicken because people knew what she was talking about. And then another part of the punishment was that they would call her to the whatever, and she had to make all different types of egg dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask her to make eggplant, though, because then she's screwed, because she doesn't know how to make an eggplant.
We're pretty good. We got 2 eggplant plants in our garden this year, and they are rocking out. I can't believe how well they're doing.
Really, sis? Really?
What?
It's got nothing to do with this.
I'm proud of it.
Okay. Good. So, sis actually, I guess she had to like serve the food to people too?
She had to make the eggs, and then she had to serve them to people throughout the house. She didn't have to give each person each type of egg.
She just had to serve
go to
somebody.
different people.
Right.
You couldn't just go to the same person over and over again, you know?
Yeah.
So there were times where she'd have to wake people up in the middle of the night or early
She's
in the morning.
freaking eggs in Nicole's face while she's sleeping.
Nicole
That's
is
like a giant ass bird.
Nicole is more than just her fear of birds, okay? There is a lot more to her, and I hope we get to see it on the show.
The punishment ended.
Mm-hmm. And Tommy freaking hulked her costume off. Good thing she was wearing clothes under there.
I hope so. Alright, so Mickey and Nikki had a little chat. Who cares?
Nick was all like, oh, I learned as a therapist that sometimes you
Did
just
he
have
say
to listen.
as a therapist?
Yeah.
So he outed himself as a therapist.
Everybody already knows anyway.
Okay.
No, he said that in the diary room.
Okay.
But he's already told everybody anyway.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay.
They should be horrified when they hear that.
Yeah, really. So, it's no secret that Mickey loves his watermelons. He loves them cold. He loves them warm. But nothing's as good as a cold watermelon.
Make sure, other house guests, you check those watermelons for holes before you...
Now I'm horrified.
He really loves them. He really loves them.
That just makes me want to throw up.
Turning tables. Oh, how the turntables.
Yeah. Alright. Chestnut checkers.
What?
I just wrote down chestnut checkers.
Because he was saying, let's play chestnut checkers, like he usually does.
Right. So, Christy, Sis, Nick, who's going up? Well, it's time for nominations.
This is a house that is full of targets right now.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that he could go after because pretty much everybody was saying that they were going to put him up this week if he didn't win, so...
How'd you like all the head nodding at that
I loved it.
Nomination ceremony?
Christy, you're up. Sis, you're up.
No, first she didn't nod, and then she saw somebody else
Tommy
nodding,
nodded.
and then she was like, oh, okay, this is when I nod.
Yeah.
Got it. It's not personal.
He knew he would be going up on the block if he didn't win HOH, and he said...
I mean, that's fair, right?
Yeah, and he said, you guys are big threats to my game, so that's why you're up.
Great episode.
Alright, so clearly, Christy is the target this week. Sis is a pawn / secondary target.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't call her a pawn.
No, I'm saying with Christy up there, she's a pawn. If Christy were to come down, she
not
could
a
become
pawn.
the next target.
Right.
Yeah. So it's an important HOH, or not HOH. It's an important power of veto this week.
Yes. It's already happened. So if you want to know the lowdown and all the strategery, make sure you watch the spoilers. Who the hell are you if you're not watching the puppet shows? Damn it.
Check out the puppet shows too.
You gotta see the puppet shows. This show is a stinker. You might as well just watch the puppet shows. Right?
Alright. So, let us know what you guys thought of tonight's episode in the comments. And until next time, much love.